What is up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today's video is a very ambitious and different one for me. If you have been subscribed to my channel for a little while, you'll know that I do a lot of like Kylie Jenner / Kardashian themed videos. I often try remade outfits of the ones that the Kardashians have worn, and I basically show you guys what they look like in real life. But never have I ever actually tried recreating an outfit that one of the Kardashians has worn. And by recreating, I mean actually constructing the full outfit with these bare hands. Now recently Kylie Jenner has made an appearance in the WAP music video. If you guys haven't heard of WAP, have you been living under a rock? There has definitely been a lot of debates about whether she should have been in that video and the kind of part that she got in it. There's even a petition going around right now to try and get her removed from the video, which I think is a little bit unfair. But regardless, whatever your opinions are on Kylie in that video, I feel like we can all agree that her outfit was pretty fire. So in today's video, I am basically trying to recreate that outfit, and I'm actually going to be making it from a dress that already exists just to make my life a little bit easier. But apart from that, it's also the fabric that's at fault. I actually couldn't find any fabrics on the roll that were remotely similar to the leopard print that she had on her outfit. But then I found this dress on Pretty Little Thing, and lo and behold, it was the perfect pattern. So I'm basically just going to be taking that dress and trying to make it my own into the Kylie Jenner outfit. The whole outfit was actually designed by this guy right here. He's a designer and also makes clothes, and I just think he's so talented. He's made such a cool outfit. So definitely big props to him. I feel like he should definitely be credited in this video because a lot of people don't know that he's the one that made it. If you guys are brand new here and you guys haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Roxy, welcome to my channel. If you guys want to stick around, make sure you guys subscribe down below. But I guess it's now time to actually make this WAP outfit. I'm so excited but so nervous, so without further ado, let's get on into the video. Alright guys, so welcome to my filming room, which is now turned into a sewing room. I'm not gonna lie, the last time I sewed, is that the word? Sewed? Sewn? The last time I did any kind of sewing, I was at school. I did GCSE sewing, and you'd never be able to tell because I literally don't remember anything about sewing machines, which is why I've got my camera woman Sherry today to help me out, and she's also let me borrow her machine very kindly. So that's great, that's a good start. Now, this is the dress that we are going to be working on today. So this is a dress from Pretty Little Thing, and I've just decided to use something that already existed and kind of just like cut it up, sew it back together in a way that makes it look like Kylie's outfit, because it was so hard to find anything that was this kind of fabric. I mean, there's a lot of leopard print that exists out there in the world, but every sewing place that I went to was literally just like the really basic, light camel kind of colored leopard print. There was never anything this dark, and that's exactly what we want. So then I found this dress off of Pretty Little Thing. Now sadly, there was only one left. I really wanted to get a couple so that I would have lots of fabric, just so that I wouldn't be stressed out that I don't have enough fabric to do what I want to do. But sadly, we've only got one, so we're gonna have to make it work. So what my plan is for this thing is to basically cut it in half, because this fabric is like kind of attached right here. So we don't want that flap. We want all of this gone, and then we're gonna kind of fold it like this on both sides, just to create that plunge effect that Kylie's bodysuit has. And then we're also going to use a little scrap of it to create the sort of high neckline. Now the sleeves, as you guys can see in the photo of Kylie, she doesn't have any sleeves, she's just got these gloves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the sleeves off and make them into my handmade gloves. I've never made gloves before, but we're going to give it a go. And then at the bottom of the dress, I'm going to make this into a corset. I'm hoping that I'm going to have a little scrap left, just enough to make this corset, because I really want it all to be the same fabric. Now sadly, because I was only able to get just one of these dresses in this exact fabric, I did get something else as well. I got this dress from Pretty Little Thing as well. So I'm thinking if I really struggle, maybe I can use some scraps of this. And also this is kind of that like mesh sort of fabric with the leopard print. She does have this really grand long train behind her, so hopefully I'll be able to like cut this up and make it into that little train. Now because I honestly don't have much experience in sewing and just making garments, I'm gonna use my swimsuit as a rough sort of guide to make this bodysuit. So hopefully that will make my life a bit easier. So the supplies I have to make this whole thing happen are very sparse and in between. There's not really too much going on, but this is everything I have, and hopefully it will be enough to make this thing work. Alright, so the very first step is to actually thread the machine. I haven't done this since I was at school, so Sharon is going to try and talk me through it. Do I just put this on here?
Yeah, so you put
Does it matter which one?
No. So then there's a little silver bit there with a little kind of roundy, sticky outy bit. It normally goes around there. So if you can see, there's a picture on the top that normally depicts how it likes it to go. And then you follow
like this?
No.
Oh. I'm useless at this stuff. I used to always get my teacher to thread my sewing machine for me because I was terrible. Wait, have I done
That's
it?
it, yeah. That's
Okay.
it, it's the same as the picture. And then you thread it through that crevice.
Crevice. What a great word.
And then there's a little arrow that goes up and one that goes down, and you thread it through. And then sometimes you have to turn the wheel at the back. But since the metal loop pelican neck is already at the top, you don't have to, so it's all good.
Ooh, I did it!
And then the last bit is to put it through the needle. Little eye, the eyelet at the bottom.
I'm blind. I can't see. I need like a magnifying glass to get this through. A tiny needle. How do people do this?
It can be quite tedious. That's why I put the little light on for you so you can see.
I used to do this. This is gross, but.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a real thing.
Just put some saliva on it and it will fix all the problems. It's really hard on. Oh, I see the tip.
Okay, right, and then grab it.
See the tip. No, I just pulled it out. 10 hours later. It's in, but in like the tiniest little bit. I got it.
Okay, that's it.
Hooray.
So that bit's now set up. Now we have to do the bobbin.
Good to go. Oh no, not the bobbin!
On the side there's a little tab, and you pull that, and it will reveal the inner workings.
Oh, this?
Yeah. On the other side. There you go. It's a little lever.
I don't know. That was so easy. Oh my god, I couldn't see it from this angle, okay? That's what it is.
So it should be catching the bottom string, you see, and pulling it through.
It's getting all tangled inside here. Alright, so the bobbin is now in. I've definitely not had any help. I did it all by myself. And yeah, we're ready to cut. I made a big old mess. Sharon had to like re-thread the whole thing, but it's okay. We've got it now. So what do we do first? Where do we even begin? Okay. So I guess we'll just, should we just cut this?
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best thing to do. We have to cut it in half to let loose of this thing, and then I guess cut the sleeves.
Yeah.
And that's it. So let's do it. Alright, so we're gonna take the scissors and we're just gonna cut this poor dress. This feels so wrong, but it has to be done for the purpose of this project. So I'm just gonna cut just on top of the seam, just so that we don't have to like unpick it, because that will take years. And I'm only gonna do one layer at a time, just to make sure we're not making any mistakes here. So I have cut the flaps. She is now an open lady. Bam! She's open. And we're now just gonna get rid of the bottom part. So we're just gonna cut it. It does feel really wrong, I'm not gonna lie. I've never cut a dress like this. I've never reconstructed anything really, so this is pretty cray-cray. The skirt is now detached. I'm now gonna work on getting rid of the sleeves. I don't really know how to go about this, I'm not gonna lie.
It might be easier to make a snip on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, now you can see where the seams are.
Yeah.
And now you can follow it along.
I can't compute how to go through this layer. Hang on. Wait.
What are you doing?
So I'm just gonna cut all the seams just so that we can make our own seams. We don't really want to be working on top of something that already exists, because we are deconstructing this completely. Okay, so now that we've pinned everything into place and it is as similar as possible to Kylie's outfit, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a chalk and I'm just going to mark out where we're actually gonna cut around the armpit and the arm area. Now looking at Kylie's bodysuit, hers is a lot more like cut out around the armpit and the boob area. I kind of don't want it to show too much of the side boob, so I'm just gonna make it a little bit more modest as much as I can. So I'm gonna start at the armpit and just really lightly mark out where I'm gonna make my incision. Alright, so now that we've marked out where we're gonna cut, I'm taking my scissors, and this is the scary part. I'm actually cutting into the precious fabric. We don't have a lot of it, so I have to be really careful not to really make a mistake. I'm gonna do one layer at a time, just to save myself from making any mistakes. So I've cut that, and now you can see it's kind of got that sort of like strap effect to it, more so than it did before. And then I'm just gonna do the back layer as well and just cut it along the same line very roughly to kind of maintain that same strap kind of shape. That was scary. But it's done now, there's no going back. Okay guys, the time has come. It is now time to actually sew the seams together. This is the part I'm most nervous for because I haven't sewn in a very long time, but I have Sherry on here to help me out and she's a pro at it, so we're all good. So I guess let's just start. I'm scared, okay. If I mess up, it's gonna cost me a lot of time.
Does it feel intense?
It feels intense. But I feel like I've got the hang of it.
You're so quiet. You're not
I'm just
this
like,
quiet. You're like.
I'm concentrating to not mess up. Alright, so I have successfully sewn together most of the different sections. So I've sewn around the armpit, also this part here. This side has turned out a little bit wibbly wobbly, as you guys can see, but we're hoping that once it's like attached to the bottom part of the bodysuit, it should be a lot more stretched. And then we've still got one more armpit to go. This armpit turned out okay. It has got a bit of a baggy excess fabric here, but I feel like once it's pulled out and down to the pants, it should be okay. We've kind of just marked out with a bit of chalk where I want the sort of body to cinch in. I didn't want it to be too like cinched in. I didn't want it to be like a thong on the back, but I think it's still gonna look very similar to hers. We haven't actually sewn the bottom portion of the outfit to the top yet because I just kind of want to cut it first, make sure it actually fits around the crotch area and is definitely long enough to meet. So obviously you want to allow for that at the bottom here. So I guess the next step is to actually cut it. Should I do it? Scared because there's no going back. So I'm just going to cut off the bottom part. The bottom part is what we're going to use as the corset. So we want to make sure we have enough. Cut at the crotch.
Are you cutting through 2 layers?
Yeah.
Back.
I want to make sure it's the same. Oh God, it's all going wrong.
That's because you're cutting through 2 layers.
Oh my God, it's not even straight. I bet all the seamstresses and anyone that does sewing is like screaming at me right now through the camera, through the comments, but I'm a newbie, okay? Like, this is just for fun. I'm not a pro at sewing or even cutting fabric for that matter, because I mean, look at that. That is not straight whatsoever. But we move. This part will be for the corset. We're gonna leave it out of the way now. Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far. What we've done now is we've basically pinned everything kind of together. We also cut one of the sides. I actually put this whole thing on my body because it's really hard to know what it's gonna look like around a crotch on a mannequin. So I actually put it on, we kind of mapped it out according to like where my underwear was and everything, and we cut one side. We've got 2 of these little offcuts that I'm actually going to flip and then use on the other side so we get like the perfect sort of symmetrical line. So that's the next step, just cutting the rest of it. We've also done the same on the back. Alright, so I've just placed down my little blueprint of the other side so that it's perfectly symmetrical, and I'm just going to cut along the line. I'm still allowing quite a lot of space for the seam so that obviously we can fold it over and make a nice little finishing line. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, which is the back side. All right guys, so I've just pinned everything into place on the bottom part of the outfit. I just pinned it all around to kind of get that nice shape of, you know, the leg holes and everything. I've left this part just open so that we can either put like a little claspy thing there or we could sew it later on, but right now this is what it's looking like. So a little update, this is where we're at currently. We have basically stitched the back together so that it's all in place. The front is only pinned in place because we're currently just trying to figure out the placement of it, but also it isn't really that easy to get into this yet because it hasn't got a zipper on the back, so I had to like shimmy my way into it. It was actually kind of funny, but yes, this is what it looks like. We have again left of the crotch still like not put together, but we're going to put that together at the end just to make sure that everything fits nicely. Also, we have the remainder of the fabric kind of draped over the mannequin to try and figure out how to make the corset. We're a little bit perplexed by this because, well, we don't really want to use boning and we only have like spare cotton that we might use as like an under panel to kind of keep its structure, but really so far we're just like, how the hell is this gonna stay in its shape? So we're gonna have to like think about that. But I guess the next step now is to actually introduce a zipper into the back so that I can actually get this on and off without having to dislocate my shoulder. Alright, so meanwhile, Sherry-Ann is helping me out with doing some stitching. I'm gonna focus on doing the gloves out of these 2 sleeve panels. So I've just drawn around my hand just to kind of get a rough idea of where my hand is going to go on this fabric and also how much space I need to leave. Alright, so this is what I have done with the glove. So I've just traced around my hand just with the chalk and then I pinned it into place. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut along just outside of the line actually because we want to have enough clearance for the seam, and I have doubled up the fabric on both sides so that I don't have to cut it out twice and mark it out twice. I'm going to cut it a little bit wider than I'm meant to. just so that I have enough clearance for my actual arm.
A few moments later.
So bad. Oh my god, that looks like Mr. Blobby. Why is the thumb the same as the pinky finger? I can't. To make things even worse, I thought it was 9 o'clock, but it's actually 11. It's 11 o'clock. We've been at this all day, and we've still got so much to go. Okay, so we have pinned this glove. It's it doesn't look very professional, but it's as good as it's gonna get because the first one that we made looks like this. It looks like a little crab hand. And I wasn't even going to show you guys this. I was going to keep this a secret. I tried to extend it by hot gluing it. We proper bodged it. Look, we're going to have to sew this because basically we made this too small. I don't know what I was thinking, but look, it won't even go over my hand. The only part that actually fits is the actual glove, and even then it is like a stretch. So what we're gonna have to do is literally sew this into place on my hand when it's already on my arm because there's no other way around it. Look how long the middle finger is. Like, what is that? Well, let's hope we can do a better job with this one than we did with this one. So here is the glove all sewn together and finished. There is quite a lot of excess fabric on it. Let's just say it's looking as good as it's ever gonna look. So I'm just gonna flip it on the right side. Oh, the good thing is that I can actually put my hands in it this time because the other one I couldn't even get my hand through. Okay, so this is the glove. It honestly looks like a cat's paw more than a human hand. And also one of the fingers is really bulbous on the end, but it's really thin. It's really thin at the base. Let's try and put this on. It fits around the hand, so that's good. What is that pinky? I'm sorry. Sorry, but this will not go over my hand. This is my hand now, guys. Yeah, we're just gonna go with it. This is it. You got duck webbed hand. It actually does look like a duck hand, and also it's so thick around. I'm sorry, but we watched a tutorial on how to make gloves, and I actually feel cheated because this is what I made and it's a monstrosity. This is something that you would see in American Horror Story. That's what this is. I don't have hope for the gloves. I think the gloves are just gonna be like this and we're just gonna have to accept the fact that we're not great at making gloves, but the show must go on. So we'll pick this up tomorrow and we'll make the rest of the outfit.
The next day.
All right guys, so it is now the next day. We stayed up so freaking late last night trying to get this thing finished. We still have so much to go, but we're hoping we're gonna get it finished today. So this is kind of the stage we're up to now. We've just put in a zipper that goes all the way down just to actually make it easier for me to get into this outfit because I had to like literally shimmy into it every time I put it on to make sure the measurements were correct. So yeah, apart from adding the zip, we've also sewn the crotch panel. It is now all attached, and then we've also added the breast section to the bottom of like the waist. Now the next part of this outfit, all there's left to do really is add on the choker piece, which is here, and then we'll also be adding this trimming that I've just made from black cotton, and we're basically just going to be lining the sort of breast panels with this, just like Kylie's outfit was. So I'm really excited to add this on, and I feel like it will definitely pull everything together. So it's now time to create the corset. This is the part that I've been dreading the most, just because I've never made a corset. We don't really have experience making corsets, and honestly I don't really have the tools. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take some wire and I'm gonna do some makeshift boning. So as you can see, we've cut out strips of just some black fabric, and basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna sandwich this little bit of wire in between two pieces of fabric. And because we're lazy at this point, I mean we've been working on this for like a day and a half now, we're just gonna use some hot glue because no one's gonna see this anyway. It doesn't have to look pretty. So we're taking the easy way out now. I wanted to make it professional, but I just can't. So I'm just gonna take the other side of the fabric and I'm just gonna stick it down and sandwich that piece of metal in between. And it should look something like this. Now you've got a piece of boning that can actually twist. So this should give us some shape to the corset, hopefully. All right, so I've got all of my boning all finished now. I've just stitched along one side of the corset. I'm just gonna do like rough lines and then I'll put it on my body and actually measure it out and cinch it in where it needs to be. So I'm just about to do the second line. And I actually feel like I'm a lot better at sewing than I was yesterday. Like I think I've learned 1 or 2 things by now, which is good. All right, so I've sewn it on both sides. There's a lot of offcuts which I will get rid of in a sec, but my plan is to actually put the boning on the inside of the whole corset, kind of like this, just to give it a little bit of shape, and you're not gonna really see the boning on the other side anyway. And let me just quickly show you how it looks once it's flipped. It's just a little cylinder. And once I put it on, we're also gonna put the zip on, so it should fit really nicely. All right, so the corset is finally finished. This is the kind of shape that we went for. It is very similar to the Kylie corset that she wore. Obviously ours is very, very rough around the edges, but we've got this trim to kind of fix it up, and I think that's gonna make it look very well presented. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just literally gonna hot glue the whole thing on because I'm kind of done with sewing at this point, and also we've put a lot of wiring in this, so I think it's gonna be very hard to put it through the sewing machine. So I'm just literally gonna use a good old hot glue gun and just glue this into place all around the edges. So now the last part of the whole outfit is the cape. Now for Kylie's outfit, she has this long 2 pieces of fabric kind of draping at the back. They're very like dramatic. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to recreate it exactly, but I'm definitely gonna try. So here I have 3 different panels of fabric that I have basically removed off of 2 of these dresses. So I actually ordered like 5 of these just in case, and I could probably use more, but I think 2 is gonna be enough. I don't wanna really cut into any more of these dresses because they are precious. Now the reason why I'm sticking this again with glue is because if we try to sew it, because of the nature of the fabric being mesh, it just won't really work properly. It'll just like bunch it up and it just won't look great. So we're gonna go down the route of just sticking it all together, and then I'm gonna cut it into one long shape, and that should be it. All right, so I'm taking my hot glue and I'm just gonna run this along very thinly. We don't need a lot as it is a mesh fabric, so it should just stick together quite well. And then I'm just going to fold the other fabric over and then stick it on top, just like that. And there you go, we've got 2 of the fabrics now stuck together. I'm gonna neaten this up real quick.
Eventually.
Okay guys, so after many hours of sweat, blood, tears, and multiple stab wounds of the pins, this is the finished outcome. And honestly, I don't think it looks the best. It looks okay, it looks presentable. We're not gonna show you guys the close-ups of the seams or anything like that, but just know that it was bodged quite a lot, especially towards the end. So in total, we have put 15 hours into this outfit, and that's between 2 people because Sherry-Ann helped me out quite a lot with a lot of the things, like the stitching, the gluing, all that kind of stuff. I definitely couldn't have done it myself. And the reason why it's pinned on the front of the mannequin is because I couldn't even get it on the mannequin because of like the crotch thing, and the mannequin was meant to be a size 8, but it's actually a lot wider than I am, so I really couldn't get it on any other way, and I feel like that's part of the reason why it took so long. But yes, this is the finished outcome. We've got the bodged gloves, which we never fixed, but that's okay, we moved. The back panels are now completely finished as well. They're not as grand as Kylie's were, but you get the picture, and I feel like that's all that counts, that we put the effort in. And then lastly, we have some shoes. I actually ordered these off of a website. I can't remember what website it was, but I'll link them down below. I feel like they don't match perfectly, but again, it was very difficult to find anything in this kind of pattern because it's a very specific type of leopard. So I guess you guys have been waiting for this moment for the longest time, same as me. We are now gonna put this outfit on and see if it actually even fits. If it doesn't fit, I think I'm genuinely gonna cry, not only inside, but also on the outside. Okay guys, so this is the finished outfit. After 15 hours, it is finally on, and to be honest, it is definitely a little bit out of my comfort zone. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't really wear things like this, so this is a little bit too much for me, but I still can really appreciate the design of the outfit, and that's why I decided to recreate this. Now, let's talk about the gloves firstly, because the gloves, I mean, look at it. They're just so wide. That was not our strong point, the gloves, okay? It's a right old mess. The fingers don't even match up, they don't align. This one we had to like put a whole panel in just to make it wide enough because we literally made it so tiny that probably not even a children's hand would fit in it. I think the part that I'm mostly proud of is the corset. I actually feel like it was really difficult to create this really like cut out shape, and with the makeshift sort of boning that we created out of the wire, I actually feel like we did achieve that pretty well. This is what the back of the outfit looks like. We've got those parts of the fabric attached that go all the way down. I feel like this isn't really the best replica of Kylie's outfit because hers was just so much more luxurious. It was very thick, there was lots of it, and it literally draped behind her for days, whereas mine are literally just like little 2 pieces of fabric just stitched together by glue and then just kind of hanging there behind me. But I feel like these back panels do still kind of achieve that same sort of look, even though they look kind of like the Walmart version, but that's okay. I also paired the outfit with some fishnet tights that are nude, just like the ones that Kylie has worn, and then the shoes look like this. I think my shoes are just a little bit shorter than hers, but again, like I said, it was so hard to find anything in this pattern. So I guess, yeah, that is 15 hours of work. Why did I make this? Honestly, I question myself. I'm just gonna say it's for Halloween, okay? So if you guys want to recreate this, make sure you tag me. I would love to see your recreations. I'm sure you can do a better job than this. But I feel like, yeah, this would be a really cool Halloween outfit. So I'm just gonna say that is the reason why I made this, because apart from that, I don't think I'll ever wear it again. So 15 hours down the drain. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed seeing me fail and succeed in some areas of this outfit. I feel like it was mostly failures though, so hope you guys found that entertaining. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that huge thumbs up down below. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you guys want to see more videos like this, or just in general Kylie sort of themed videos or the Kardashian themed videos, I have a load on my channel, so I will link them all in the eye, so make sure you guys check them out after watching this. But that is all from me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Mwah.